Man United 2, Nottingham Forest 3. I want to start by making it very, very clear in this video that these players are absolute criminals. Absolute criminals, the lot of them, I'm telling you. And before some of you jump into the comment section saying, oh, these are the exact same players that Ten Hag had to deal with, Ten Hag played a big part in buying these players. He played a massive, massive part in assembling the squad that we have right now. Like literally 90% of our 23-man squad was either bought by Eric Ten Hag or he founded the club and insisted on playing these players week in, week out, even though some of us were screaming and shouting that these players are not good enough. Like honestly, where do I even start tonight? Andre Onana. This is a guy who last season I was criticizing week in, week out, saying that he's not good enough. He's always dropping clangers, dropping stinkers, his diving techniques, everything about him looks wrong as a goalkeeper. This season, he's been absolutely brilliant. In fact, he's been flawless. One of our best players so far this season. But you see what he did tonight? That's the Andre Onana of last season, which we were seeing. That very scary guy. I literally said that this guy scares me. He literally scares me. And it wasn't just him tonight. I'm not saying we lost the game simply because of Andre Onana. There were other players. Bruno Fernandes, absolutely rubbish. I know he scored the goal to pull the goal back. But again, the goal which we conceded, which is Gibbs White shoots from distance and basically goes past Onana. Bruno plays a part in it. He gives the ball away trying to pass it to Euro and it ends up with them scoring. But even though that was the case, his fanboys won't talk about it. They'll only blame Onana. And rightfully so, Onana should be blamed for the goal. But Bruno plays a part as well. But they'll tell us about his GA. I've been saying that people need to watch football with their eyes. Stop only focusing on the GA. Actually watch the player. Does the player pass the eye test when you watch him play for Man United week in, week out? Again, not just Bruno and Onana. Alejandro Garnacho, absolutely pathetic footballer. Absolutely pathetic. People keep getting on to me saying that, oh no, why are you always going on onto Garnacho? Because I don't think he's good enough. This guy's what, 20 years old? And I get it. People keep on talking about, oh no, potential is our next Ronaldo. He's nowhere near Ronaldo. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This kid is not good enough. This fan base has overhyped him so much so that even he's starting to believe his own hype. Like, already the kid is a positive kid. You can see. He believes in himself. He thinks he's going to be the next Ronaldo. That's why he was mimicking Ronaldo celebrations and all of that stuff. Cool. I don't begrudge him for that. But ability-wise, he is nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. He's an average footballer. Average footballer. He could go on to have a decent career in football. Don't get me wrong. But I genuinely don't see him as a starter for Man United. Like I've said it before, if Garnacho's going to be playing in this team, he needs to be sitting on the bench and then coming on in the last 15, 20 minutes when we maybe need to score an equalizer or trying to get the winner. You can come on with those fresh legs against tired defenders and maybe try and create something. Create something. I wish. He doesn't even create anything. All he's doing right now, all he's doing since AMORIM came here is spending 90% of the time on the flipping floor. Can't control the ball, can't pass, no end product, always making the wrong decisions in the final third. This kid is frustrating. It's not about the age. So Alex Ferguson said that. He said if you're good enough, you're old enough. So it's basically not about age. It's about the talent. Are you talented enough to play for Man United? Lamine Yamal was flipping starting in Champions League quarterfinals just last season at the age of 16. It's not about age. It's about whether or not you're good enough. So again, I repeat, if you're good enough, you're old enough. So if Garnacho's good enough to be starting for Man United, whether it's at the age of 18, 19 or 20, he's old enough to hold smoke when he doesn't play well. And he's been playing rubbish. I don't understand why he keeps on being picked. Rasmus Højlund, another one. I've been saying this guy is not a proper striker. He scored a tap-in today. Big whoop. His fanboys are on my chat telling me, oh no, Garnacho, Højlund scored today. What are you saying now? Bro, come on. This guy's not good enough. Apart from the tap-in that he scored today, what else did he do today? Absolutely fuck all. Look, this squad is riddled with players who are not good enough. And again, I repeat, Ineos keeping Ten Hag in the summer and deciding to go or start this season with Ten Hag as manager, was the problem with that was we were going to have to go into the market and back him with even more players. Whilst we've already seen his track record at this club when it comes to signings is absolutely shambolic. There's a guy who's paid £88 million on Anthony, £72 million on flipping Rasmus Højlund, £70 million on Casemiro. The list goes on and on and on. He needed to be sacked in the summer. If we had just gotten Ruben Amorim in the summer, he would have had this whole summer to get 3, 4, 5 players which suit his style of play. Now, we've brought him mid-season. He can't even sign players. Now they're telling us, Ineos are saying they don't have money to sign players in January. He must wait for the summer. So basically, you're writing the season off. All this flipping board had to do was sack Ten Hag in the summer, bring in Amorim in the summer, give him the players he wants which suit his style of play. Now you've set us back another season. This is absolutely annoying, man. These players are not good enough. I don't want to hear it. Some of you guys are just football stands. Oh, Bruno stand, Garnacho stand, Højlund stand. These guys are not good enough. The sooner we accept that as Man United fans, the better things will be. Like, honestly, there was a pathetic performance tonight. Absolutely disgusting. Nottingham fucking Forrest. Oh, honestly. At this point, let's just move on to the player ratings, man. Starting from the goalkeeper. For those who are new to the channel, I do my player ratings going from 1 being absolutely poor, 5 being average, and 10 being excellent. So in at number 1, Andre Onana in goal. He was pathetic today. Absolutely pathetic. Played a part in the goal they scored. The first goal, I don't blame him. It's a good ball from a corner, whipped into the box, and 6'5" Milenkovic absolutely puts into the back of the net with a bullet header. Lisandro Martinez didn't even get up from the floor. Another player who's been absolutely pathetic, Lisandro Martinez, but I'll get to him. Right now, I'm talking about Andre Onana and his rating. The first goal, couldn't blame him for that. The second goal, absolutely on him. Absolutely on him. The ball is hit straight at him. I don't know if it's the wind or whatever. At first, I was convinced it's a deflection because I saw him going one way and the ball going the other. So I'm thinking there definitely has to be a deflection because what the hell? And then when I see the replay, I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? There was no deflection. This guy's just an idiot. How are you diving one way and the ball's going the other? How has he misread that so badly? But anyways, for me, Onana was absolutely pathetic today. Even towards the end of the game, he has a chance. We've got a long free kick. He's got a chance to hit it. He keeps on putting the ball forward and forward. The ref says, go back. That's the wrong position. Place the ball. He probably wasted 30 to 40 seconds at that time. He wasted time. He made mistakes. Even the third goal, miscommunication between him and De Ligt. I don't even know what the hell's going on. They hit a header from Wood across and it goes in. Comical stuff, man. Comical defending. Onana for me was shocking. He was absolutely pathetic today. I'm going to give him a 2. I don't care. 2 big mistakes. Kept on giving up very poor distribution. And the rubbish Onana which we saw. I saw speed. That's who we saw today. He was back today. I saw speed. Not Andre Onana that we've been seeing this season. That was I saw speed. But anyways, for me, Onana gets a 2. Absolutely horrendous. Moving it on to the back 3. Start with Lisandro Martinez. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Lisandro Martinez has been absolutely rubbish this season. Whether under Ten Hag and under Amorim, he has been pathetic. He's been absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And now under Amorim, he's looking worse because now the back 3 formation is exposing him. When we attack, when the wing backs go forward, we rely on the back 3 to stay and defend any potential counters from the opposition. And when they do attack on the left side of the pitch, Lisandro Martinez is slow. He has no pace or recovery pace to cover that left flank when Dalot moves forward. He's slow. He gets skinned all the time. Especially when it's one-on-one, he gets skinned all the flipping time. He worries me. And number 2, Lisandro Martinez is flipping 5'7", if not 5'8". It's not good enough. This is the Premier League. You need big centre halves. That's why you see the best centre halves in this league and the best centre halves in the world in general. They're all over 6 foot. It's big lads, big, strong, physical defenders. That's the type of centre back you need in your club. Look at Van Dijk for Liverpool. 6'1", 6'4". Konate about 6'3", 6'4". Gabriel Magalhaes about 6'2", 6'3". Saliba 6'3", somewhere there. These are big, strong, physical, and pacey centre backs. You need to have pace, you need to have the physicality, and you need to have the strength. Yes, he's strong, Lisandro Martinez, but we saw today a typical example of what happens when you put a 5'7" guy against a 6'5" in the box. The 6'5" will always win 9 times out of 10. And that's exactly what happened today. Lisandro didn't even get off the floor. He got bullied by Milankovic for that goal. Absolutely pathetic performance from him again today. He was absolutely rubbish, man. Absolutely rubbish. What do I even give him as a player rating? I'm gonna give him a 4, less than average. He was poor. It was really poor. It was really poor. And I feel like a 4. I'm being generous, but I'm gonna give him a 4. Moving it on to Matthijs de Ligt. As the centre back today, as the guy around in the middle of the back three, he wasn't that good either. Honestly, he looked slow. He was taking too long to release the ball. When we give him the ball, we want to quickly start the attacks. He's taking way too flipping long with the ball. And that leads to him being pressed and maybe getting dispossessed. It's not good enough. De Ligt today was poor. I'm going to give him an average 5. I am, because he wasn't as bad as Martinez, but I felt he was taking too long to release the ball. So for me, Matthijs de Ligt gets an average 5. Moving it on to the right centre-back, Lenny Euro. First start for the club at Old Trafford. Unfortunately for him, it ended in a loss. But obviously, due to the fact that he's been out for so long with an injury, I expected him to play about 45 to 60 minutes. I wouldn't even have been surprised if I was replaced it after. Not because it was awful, but simply because of the fitness thing. But at least AMORIM gave him about an hour, which is good enough for him. Getting some minutes in the tank, that's good. He will learn. The third goal which they scored with Chris Wood, Chris Wood out-jumped him. Chris Wood is a big, strong, physical lad. He scores. It's fine. It's Euro's first game. I'm not gonna be too hard on the kid. He seemed to make some decent passes, keeping it safe, not going for the over the top type of ball, just keeping it safe, and that was fine for me. He looked like it was someone who was trying to feel his way into the game. As a new signing who's just moved to the club and is basically starting their first game for the club, I can hear it, you know. So for me, Euro, I'm gonna give him a slightly above average 6. And then moving it on to the wing backs, Amad Diallo at the right. He was our best player today, by far. First off, he wasn't the greatest. In fact, he was quite quiet. It seemed like most of our attacks were coming down the left-hand side of the pitch, which made no sense because our best player is on the right. But Amad, first off, was quite very quiet. But when it came to the second half, he absolutely improved, and he was the one who was starting attacks for us, beating his the opposition defender and starting attacks for us. And for that, I was impressed, and I thought he played very well for us. It was, like I said, comfortably head and shoulders above any other player on the pitch. And for me, Amad gets a 7.5 as our man of the match. Moving it on to the opposite flank, or the opposite wing back, which is the left wing back, which was occupied by Diogo Dalot. Dalot, for me, continued on the trend which he set this season. He was absolutely horrendous. Another one of my favorite players. I'm not even gonna lie. I rate Diogo Dalot so highly, and last season for me, he was comfortably our player of the season, and hence he even won the award. However, this season he's been one of our worst players ever. Like, he's been really, really bad. And like I said, I'm not gonna do the whole Dalot stan, Rashford stan, Bruno stan, or whatever. It's not Player FC, it's Man United Football Club, not a Diogo Dalot Football Club. So I'm not gonna defend rubbish. And as much as I rate him, he has been pathetic this season. Absolutely rubbish. And he deserves dropping now. Because this thing, AMORIM needs to learn as well. Dalot at left wing back, it doesn't work. Play him on if you're going to play him as a wing back, play him on the right wing back. I would even say play Amad behind the number 9 in one of those two 10s, and maybe play either Mazraoui or Dalot at right wing back. Because Dalot at left wing back, it just doesn't work. He was absolutely pathetic. Making crazy shots, losing the ball, getting out muscled in tackles. It was just bad. It was really, really bad. And for me, Diogo Dalot had an absolute stinker. He gets a 4. Moving it on to the front three, Bruno Fernandes. Absolutely pathetic footballer, man. Rubbish footballer. I can never understand people who talk about they watch players like Martin Odegaard play as a 10, and then they have the cheek to compare Bruno Fernandes to the likes of him, because Bruno Fernandes has GA. Bro, GA is not everything. Yes, GA is very important, but at least you need to look at both the GA and the performance of a player. Does he pass the eye test, like I keep on saying? And Bruno Fernandes always fails the eye test without... bro, this guy is bad. He scored a goal, but he played a part in the goal, which we considered the second one. He gave the ball away, and they scored. He goes and scores. Now he stands over here and says, oh, but Bruno scored for us. So why are you talking about Bruno? He was absolutely rubbish. Keeps giving the ball away, hoofing the ball. AMORIM needs to move Bruno Fernandes from one of those 210s and move him back into a deeper role. Swap Bruno and Kobe. Put Kobe higher up the pitch and bring Bruno back into the midfield. He was horrendous for me, Bruno Fernandes. He scored the goal. For me, that doesn't paper over the cracks. Bruno Fernandes, for me, gets a 4. The other 10 behind the number 9, Garnacho. Pathetic footballer, as I've already said. I didn't see him take on any of his defenders or fullbacks today. He didn't take on any defender. He didn't beat any defender. I don't even remember him. The only shot which he tried to take, they blocked, and then it fell to Rasmus, who obviously tapped it in to make it 1-0 to us. But other than that, what did Garnacho do? Absolutely rubbish performance from this kid, man. Very, very overhyped by this fan base. And he's absolutely pathetic. People had the cheek to be going at Planet Faz when you just tried to tell him, please, Garnacho, keep the ball, make decent passes, play better, all of those things. He wasn't even rude to him, but people were going after Planet Faz. Faz was right. This kid is shit. He is. Gets a 4 from me. I'm so annoyed. I'm realizing I even forgot to rate Kobe Mainoo and Ugarte. They weren't that great either. Ugarte kept things simple. He just makes a simple pass, which is cool. That's his game. It's fine. His job is to win the ball back for us and give it to the good players. I get it. So he did his job. For me, Ugarte gets a 6. Kobe Mainoo, he was quiet today. Didn't really have much of a good performance. But I've always said this. Kobe Mainoo's better higher up the pitch than he is deeper. The 8 doesn't seem to be working for him. Not in this system anyways. So swap him. Put Bruno in the 8. Put Kobe in one of the 2 10s behind the striker. He wasn't great. I'm going to give him a 5. I'm going to be honest. He's a player I love, but he wasn't great. So I'm going to give him an average 5. Last but not least, what's his name? Rasmus Højlund. Another trash footballer. He scored that tap in, but apart from that, what else did he do? I didn't see him getting the ball, holding up play. I didn't see him linking up play. I didn't see him do anything. He was absolutely rubbish and was a ghost. Don't even get me started on the substitutions that came off. Rashford, Mount, all these guys that came off the bench. What did they do? Rubbish, man. Absolute rubbish. These players are criminals, like I said. And as for Rasmus Højlund, his score, what do I even give him? I'm going to give him an average 5. He got a goal, did nothing else. Give him an average 5. But like I said, man, in the beginning of this video, these players are absolute criminals. And I refuse to not back the manager simply because of these players. They're rubbish. He needs to be given a chance by Ineos. Then to back him in the window, January, go get him a few players, 2-3 players. Okay, not be 2-3 is too much, but get him at least a left wing back because we don't have a reliable one. Get him a left wing back in the summer, back him properly with a proper number 9 like Gyökeres. Get rid of these players like Rasmus Højlund, Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho. Not good enough. Like I said, these players are not good enough, and if he's not careful, Ruben Amorim, this place will get him sacked. But I back the manager fully. I'm still behind the manager. We have to trust the process. The worst part is now we've got a very, very bad run of fixtures coming up. We've got City, Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool, all these big games, Newcastle, all these games are coming up. So it's going to be a tricky couple of weeks for us as Man United fans. So we need to stay positive and get behind the manager. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys thought about today's game. And yeah, man, what can I say? If you haven't already, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys soon. Peace.